Welcome back. In this video, we'll see some advanced concept in test object map, that is shared test object map. Now, there are basically two types of test object map. One is the private test object map and second is shared test object map. Now, as the name suggests, private test object map is basically associated with only one script, and whereas the shared test object map, it can be associated with more than one script. So that's a main major difference here. Okay. So next is private test object map. It is automatically created when you record the script. Okay, when the first time you record a script, automatically private test object map will come with it. Whereas the shared test object map, how it is created and how it is associated. So you can create it in the below the projects folder. You can create that test object map, that is shared test object map. After creating the same shared object map, you can use it with multiple scripts. The number of scripts you want, you can use it. Okay, and that shared object map, it can be automatically updated when you record a new script. Suppose I have associated shared object map with script 1, and this script 1 I'm recording it for 5 times. So my shared object map which I have associated will be updated 5 times. Okay, so it says automatically updated when you record a particular script. Now, these are the first differences. Now, we are specifically working on this shared test object map because we have already seen this by default when we are recording a script. Now, what are the steps we'll be following in order to work with this shared object map? So, the process is very simple. First of all, we'll create a new test object map, and then I'll just open and show you the elements which are present there in the object map. Later on, I'll just create a new recording test, or you can say a new test script here. And after recording a test, what I'll do is I'll try to associate the shared object map with my particular test. That means I'll associate it. Now, after association, what we are doing is I have started the recording. If you see, I've started recording the test. Now, when we are recording, obviously my application is capturing different objects. This captured objects will be stored into my repository. That's a shared test object map. And then I can show you the test object map, whatever object map is updated. So I can open that and I can show you that. Okay, so let us see practically how we work on this shared test object map. All right, so let's go ahead and understand how do we work on shared test object map. So basically I have to first create a test object map. I can go to the file menu bar, new, and select the option test object map. That's one method. Second method is click on the drop down, and in the toolbar, the first option is there, and you select this option given as test object map. That's the second method. Or else the third method, right click, select the option as test object map. You can choose any of the method depending upon your requirement. Now I'll select as add test object map. It will show you a dialog box and it will be saved under the project one. The default name will be given as test object map 1. You can see the path where this test object map would be stored. After that, you just click on this next button. There are two radio buttons which are given. In order to fill some objects, two options are given. First one, don't copy any test objects, and you can simply click on finish. So that will create an empty test object map. Okay, so I don't want to keep an empty, I want to add some objects. So let's see the second option. It says you can select test object map and scripts to copy test object from. So from this you can understand, so whatever test objects are present into another scripts, I can easily copy and create my own. So what I'll do is I'll copy the first script test objects. The name of the script is a_classics java a sample, and I'll click on finish. Now my test object is created and by default it will open. You can see there are 4 frames, in a sense 4 dialog box, first, second, third and fourth, which if you keep on expanding will have multiple objects under each frame. Okay, you can see that's frame. Now I'll click on this close button. So I already have a test object map, but now this test object map 1 is not associated with any of my script. What if you want to associate your test object map with some script? Let us go ahead. So what I'll do is I'll record a new script, click on this record button, and now you can give the name here as k_share test object map. Then instead of clicking on finish button, click on next. Now on the top, if you see, there's a test object map which is given as private test object map. That means whenever you record a new script, by default, there will be a private test object map where it only will be associated with that particular script. Okay. But now my aim is to associate the test object map one here. So I'll click on this browse button and you can see this one is the test object map which we created. Okay. .rft map, that's an extension which says .rational functional tester, map stands for test object map. I'll click on this OK button. Now this test object map already has some objects. Okay. And now after recording, definitely I'll be adding few more objects in that. Okay. Now I'll click on this finish button, expand, or you can say start the application, click on OK. Now I'll click on this place order. These are the objects already they had. Now I'll click on this new customer, click on OK. And I'm just trying to add some few different objects, name, street, city, and the phone number, which we didn't had earlier, right? And the card number was already there, which I know, and the expiration date will be added. Click on related items, click on add to order. Now I'll click on place order. Okay. Close the application, stop the recording. Now after the recording gets stopped, let us see what are the different objects which are present here. Now I'll click on this close button. Here if you carefully observe, okay, the name of this test object map is test object map 1, which was by default given. That means this is the shared test object map, and you can see these are new options. That's a new customer radio button, and I also added J option pane, and I added the add to order button. So these are few extra objects which have been added to my shared object map. So from here I can conclude that one shared test object map can be associated with multiple scripts. Option 1, when you associate and if you keep on recording, the newly recorded objects also will be added. So in short, you can say it can be updated. Shared objects will be updated with the newer objects. Right. So these are the few things which you have to remember about the shared object map. I hope you have understood. That's all for this video.
Tutorialspoint.com. Simply easy learning.